Have you ever felt like your spiritual path was being put to the test? Do you sometimes wonder if there are hidden challenges you need to overcome to grow spiritually? In this video, we'll explore 5 crucial spiritual tests that you need to know about before it's too late. These tests can shape your spiritual journey and help you become a stronger, more enlightened person. Let's start by understanding what spiritual tests really are. Spiritual tests are not your everyday obstacles or problems. They're special challenges that push you to grow in your spiritual awareness and understanding. These tests often come when we least expect them, and they can be tough to recognize at first. But once you know what to look for, you'll see how these tests can be powerful tools for personal growth. Why do these tests matter so much? Well, they give us chances to grow in ways we might not have thought possible. Each test is like a workout for your spiritual muscles, making you stronger and more resilient. As you face and overcome these challenges, you'll find your spiritual awareness expanding. You'll start to see the world and yourself in new ways, gaining wisdom and understanding that can change your life for the better. Now, let's dive into the first spiritual test, the trust challenge. This test is all about letting go of control and trusting in something bigger than yourself. It might be trusting in a higher power, the universe, or the natural flow of life. When this test comes, you might feel like everything is slipping out of your hands. You might be tempted to try to control every little thing. But the real challenge is to let go and trust that things will work out, even if you can't see how right now. The trust challenge can show up in many ways in your life. It could be a situation where you have to make a big decision without having all the information. Or it might be a time when you're facing a lot of uncertainty about your future. The key is to recognize when you're being asked to trust and to choose to do so, even when it feels scary. Moving on to the second test, the forgiveness trial. This one can be really tough because it asks us to let go of hurt and resentment. When someone has wronged us or caused us pain, it's natural to hold on to those negative feelings. But the forgiveness trial challenges us to release that negativity and choose forgiveness instead. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or saying that what happened was okay. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying around anger and hurt. When you're faced with this test, you might find yourself dealing with old wounds or fresh hurts. The challenge is to find a way to let go of the pain and move forward without letting it weigh you down. The third test we need to talk about is the gratitude experiment. This test often comes during difficult times when it seems like everything is going wrong. The challenge here is to find things to be grateful for, even when life feels hard. It's about shifting your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. During the gratitude experiment, you might be faced with setbacks or disappointments. The test is to look beyond these challenges and find the good that still exists in your life. It could be as simple as appreciating a beautiful sunset or being thankful for a supportive friend. By choosing gratitude, you can change your whole perspective on life. Next up is the compassion quest. This test challenges us to extend kindness and understanding to people who are difficult or who challenge us. It's easy to be compassionate towards those we like or agree with. But can you show that same kindness to someone who frustrates you or who has very different beliefs? The compassion quest asks us to see the humanity in everyone, even those we might consider enemies or opponents. This doesn't mean agreeing with everyone or letting people treat you badly. It's about recognizing that everyone is fighting their own battles and deserves basic human kindness. The fifth and final test we'll explore is the self-love puzzle. This test challenges us to accept and love all parts of ourselves, even the parts we're not proud of or wish were different. It's about overcoming self-judgment and criticism and learning to treat ourselves with the same kindness we'd offer a good friend. The self-love puzzle can show up when we're faced with our own mistakes or flaws. Instead of beating ourselves up, the challenge is to respond with understanding and compassion. This test asks us to look at ourselves honestly, acknowledge our strengths and weaknesses, and choose to love ourselves anyway. Now that we've covered the 5 tests, let's talk about how to recognize them in your life. Self-awareness is key here. Start paying attention to situations that make you feel uncomfortable or challenged on a deeper level. Are you being asked to trust when you'd rather control? To forgive when you want to hold on to anger? To be grateful when you feel like complaining? These could be signs that you're facing one of these spiritual tests. It's also helpful to notice patterns in your life. If you keep encountering similar challenges or feelings, it might be a sign that you're being presented with a spiritual test that you need to work through. Remember, these tests often come in subtle ways, so stay alert and open to recognizing them. Now, let's discuss some strategies for passing these spiritual tests. One of the most powerful tools you have is mindfulness. By staying present and aware, you can catch yourself in the moment when a test appears. Take a deep breath and remind yourself of the bigger picture. Ask yourself what you can learn from this situation. Another helpful strategy is to seek guidance and support. This could mean talking to a trusted friend, a spiritual advisor, or joining a supportive community. Sometimes, just sharing your experiences with others can provide new perspectives and encouragement. It's also important to be patient with yourself. These tests aren't always easy, and it's okay if you don't get it right the first time. Every attempt is a step forward in your spiritual growth. Treat each test as a learning opportunity, not a pass or fail exam. Let's talk about the rewards of working through these spiritual tests. As you face and overcome these challenges, you'll likely find a growing sense of inner peace and fulfillment. You might notice that you're less rattled by everyday problems and more able to maintain a sense of calm even in difficult situations. Your relationships with others may improve as well. As you learn to trust, forgive, show compassion, and love yourself, you'll probably find that your connections with others become deeper and more meaningful. You might even inspire others to grow on their own spiritual paths. Overall, working through these spiritual tests can lead to a more joyful and purposeful life. You may find yourself feeling more connected to the world around you and more in tune with your own inner wisdom. Now, it's time to take action. As you go about your day, start looking for these tests in your own life. When you notice one, take a moment to pause and consider how you want to respond. Remember, every small choice to trust, forgive, be grateful, show compassion, or love yourself is a step forward on your spiritual path. We encourage you to keep learning and growing. There are many resources available to help you on your journey, from books and podcasts to meditation apps and spiritual communities. Find what works for you and make spiritual growth a regular part of your life. In conclusion, let's recap the 5 spiritual tests we've discussed: the trust challenge, the forgiveness trial, the gratitude experiment, the compassion quest, and the self-love puzzle. Each of these tests offers a unique opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Remember, your spiritual journey is uniquely yours. These tests may show up in different ways for different people, but the core challenges remain the same. By staying aware and open to growth, you can turn these tests into powerful tools for personal transformation. As you move forward, know that you have the strength and wisdom within you to face these tests. Each time you choose trust over control, forgiveness over resentment, gratitude over complaint, compassion over judgment, and self-love over self-criticism, you're growing stronger and wiser. Your spiritual journey is a lifelong adventure, full of challenges and rewards. By understanding and working through these 5 spiritual tests, you're setting yourself up for a life of deeper meaning, greater peace, and more authentic connections with yourself and others. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of spiritual tests. We hope this video has given you valuable insights and tools for your own spiritual journey. Remember, it's never too late to start growing and evolving. Every moment is an opportunity to choose a higher path. As you go about your day, keep an eye out for these tests. They might show up in unexpected ways, but now you have the knowledge to recognize and navigate them. Trust the process, be patient with yourself, and keep moving forward on your spiritual path. We'd love to hear about your experiences with these spiritual tests. Have you encountered any of them in your life? How did you handle them? Sharing your stories can help and inspire others on their own journeys. Remember, spiritual growth isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Each test you face and overcome makes you stronger and brings you closer to your true self. You have the power within you to face these challenges and come out stronger on the other side. As we wrap up this video, we want to encourage you to keep exploring and learning about your spiritual path. There's always more to discover about yourself and the world around you. Stay curious, stay open, and keep growing. Thank you for watching, and we wish you all the best on your spiritual journey. May you find strength, wisdom, and peace as you face life's tests and challenges. Until next time, take care and keep growing.